Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline. And my today's guest is Linda Koelling. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. I'm sitting in my auto office because, like, most of the time when the kids are sleeping and I want to have some quiet time for myself, then I'm using my auto and I'm feeling really good. I had a walk to my favorite beech tree, a very old tree, and I'm really looking forward to our interview.
Okay, then let's start. And I want to introduce you to the audience. You are an expert for soul embodiment and deep soul talk. And I'd like to know more about that. You also deal with human design and profound embodiment practice for deep
Yes.
fulfillment and a soul lead. Make your own rules lifestyle. Tell us more about your daily work.
My daily work is to work with people that are really done with fitting in concepts, fitting in certain amount of working hours for the sake of just collecting money for something else. I'm here for soul driven, purpose driven entrepreneurs, and also most of them are mamas, like they did the transition into motherhood. They already know how important time and also the capacity to hold space for a kid is, and they don't want to exchange it all the time for the same work. They want to express themselves through their work, and therefore we have to reconnect. I mean, at least this is my path. Sorry. We have to reconnect to our purpose before we can see something matching at the same frequency in the outside. So we have to do the soul deep dive before we are designing our life again, like how we actually want to live it. And therefore, I'm working with human design. But I mean, the topic today is also like how human design can actually sabotage yourself in your transformational journey, because for me, human design on its own, it's like it will not change anything. We have to combine it with embodiment practice. We have to combine it with mindset so that we can have like a holistic approach in making really a difference in our daily life.
Yes, I see what you mean. And thank you for sharing. Before I asked you what inspired you to go in that direction, I want to say I came across human design like 1 year ago, or but not so deep, just the surface, like to have a chart or something, and then and without an expert. I just looked at it and okay, fine, what's next? Of course. And I think this is what you mean by you have to dive deep and also embody it. So look for what's not aligned yet and what you can align. Maybe you can tell us about it, and also what inspired you, or when did you start to dive into human design?
I started 4 years ago, and my main um, inspiration was to be a better mom. To be, because I'm almost like I'm not a single mom. I have like a not a partner, but I have the father, and we have a really amazing connection. It's also related to my human design journey because I understand myself better, I understand him better, I understand our kids better. So it has like really had a really impact on our relationship, and I wanted to have like a tool to really see beyond what I usually see with my 24/7 daily glasses. And therefore, I was like just engaging in human design courses. And the more I dove deep, the more I realized that it's important to see with the right glasses. It's not important to just like take the human design as I also did in the beginning and say, like, ah, okay, I can't do this. Ah, I'm not meant for this. And like with this more like, oh no, I'm not good enough mindset, when I'm looking with this like not good enough mindset, then my experience was like, oh. it's a burden to dive into human design chart because I'm not seeing my talents. And also when I look at my kids, I see like, oh, and he's like this and this, and then I'm worrying. But like I think the last 1.5 years, I'm on a totally different approach with human design. So I did in the past the experience to look with a mindset of like, my life is really not amazing. And I see more things that are not amazing just because I look at my chart. But then like with transforming my mindset, with like seeing, like working with breath work, that is like also working deep on a cellular level, I was actually really like transforming also the mindset of like, hey, I'm good enough, I'm special. And like the more charts actually I see through, is like, wow, everybody is so special. This is actually the fascination for me and the fire that drives me, that I have like 100 charts and more in my library. And when I look through them, it's like, wow, this amazing being is like gifted with this and this with this. And like working together, also like knowing about our special superpower is, but my main drive was to be a better mom, to see really like the essence of my kids, to guide them, to navigate them, because I'm most of the time with them.
Wow.
Sorry, I have still a bit of a cough.
Oh, okay. I wish a good recovery. And thank you so much for sharing because it's so interesting when I looked at it. And then, yeah, I just all the numbers and stuff. And yes, I did a little online course. There's an on like a audio book or something someone is talking about. And she said at the end of the course, now I covered 1% of the human design. And I thought, okay, there's so much more to learn and explore. And I love that. Also, you confirmed it. Yes, my next question is, who inspires you? Are there coaches? Who was the best coach you ever had?
Different coaches actually, like for different approaches, different areas. Like for the German human design market, like there's a metaphysical queen. It's Alicia Beluga. She's like the queen of metaphysics in Germany, and from my perspective, like the get to go source. I did the embody coach educational training with her, and she, like the unique approach of her is like really seeing beyond, it's beyond human design. It's like it's human design, it's gene keys. Like maybe none of you have heard, but there's actually a system that is like complementary to the human design system. It's just more the feminine and poetic and artistic way to deal with different aspects of every human design gate. It's called gene keys. But the gene keys are, and human design are based of the Chinese I Ching, like the teachings from really old ancient Chinese um, medicine and Chinese culture. It's based on 64 hexagrams, and each gate or each key is like related to one of the hexagrams. And actually, the hexagrams are related to astrology. So when we take the human design into like this big puzzle, and therefore she's really the go-to resource because she makes it understandable and easy, that it's just like the one piece of a whole bigger system. And um, for more fulfilling soul life, I have like I'm doing an educational training in soul communication and animal spirit communication right now with two friends of mine. I love them really much. I have a business mentor in Germany. She's also like founded 4 companies, and it's like really on the point. um, so I have like different go-to resources, and for human design I definitely recommend Alicia Beluga.
Yeah, and she was the one. I had this audiobook. It was on Upspeak, by the
I
way.
know, yeah.
I came across, but I bought it for a different reason. I wanted to I was listening to a different speaker, but I came across this audiobook and I was fascinated. It was in December when I was in San Diego. I remember now. And yeah, it is important to remember where we first heard about people. And yeah, thank you for sharing your coaches and that you have different ones for different topics you want to cover and improve. I love this. And my next question is, how do you inspire other people?
At first, by doing the work myself and being an embodied role model. So this is also like from the human design perspective, this is also my job. I'm like a 6'2" profile. I'm a manifester, so I have to be the role model. So at first the work starts here, but now like I'm more radiating my work through social media and in my direct environment. I'm doing coaching sessions. I'm leading sweat lodges here in Germany, in northern Germany. I have a really nice place where I can do this really like deep embodied nature connection practice through the work with a sweat lodge. Um, I'm doing offline sessions, and in September we will have in Northern Germany a retreat. So where it's not really so much focused on just human design, it's more focused actually on like you put yourself out of your daily comfort zone, out of your daily light in the middle of nature with other women. It will be like a woman retreat, and just experience the connection with nature, because this was actually something I think 4 or 6 weeks ago that happens and hit me so hard. I was like one day just in nature with a friend of mine making photos and just emerging in this space of really connection with everything around me, like no noise but the trees, the water of a little creek. And that actually make on a cellular level really clear that for us as human beings that are interconnected with everything, that it's also really necessary to step outside the busy life, to step out the daily life, to really listen inside what is like really my purpose right now, what is like the next step. It's not coming from a human design reading. I mean, it can be inspiring, but most of the time the answer is here, so I have to make space to really go into that.
Hmm. I love that. That makes sense. Yes. And my thoughts were wandering when you were talking about how can I find a place in nature to experience this? Yes. I think this is so important. And we will put the links in the show notes to
Yeah,
connect to you. This is important. Also, maybe you have spaces left at your retreat. People can book. This would be fine. Of course. My next question is, what are your gifts and talents? And I think this question you already mentioned. This question is interesting because you see it in your human design more, much more better than other people, I would say.
yeah. Like I know that there's a special superpower in me recognizing patterns that are just going on, and then I see like when a pattern is changing. I'm really good at restructuring and bringing orders to something. I did a constellation work training, so I also work with constellation work. It's also part of the embodiment practice. And in the constellation work, for me, it's like almost the the part that makes so much fun to me is to bring the divine order back into families, back into um, different settings. Also, like, I mean, we can do constellation work about a family, about an sickness, about a company. Yeah, to make just the invisible structure, make it visible. And I'm really getting better. Also, like training my uh I don't know the English word for Hellsinne, like all the super senses that we have as humans. we can like have like a different hearing, like we hear something and actually we hear what is like underneath. Or like for me, I get like ideas or pictures. Like for me, my soul is talking in pictures. Like when I'm doing a constellation work, then I'm receiving pictures, and I'm getting, also because I committed to train myself in it, I'm getting better to really express this six line, this like eagle perspective more in the work I do. So I have this like visionary eye, I have innovative ideas, an innovative force. um I have a special format right now and also like going on. It's the intensive. We have just 2 dates, but you can ask me anything and I will answer with the human design answer. Just looking
Oh,
through your human design, and you ask me whatever you want about your life questions. And I'm like combining human design chart reading with just channeling what is in the field, or making a bit constellation work to make visible what is really going on. So there's my superpower.
wow. I love that. You so much. And I would like to know if you set goals for yourself, for example, for 2024 or intentions.
My intention for 2024 is to have really a stable, grounded, also for me and for my family, more financial stable fundament, like a base where we can be much more easy and much more with fun. And my intention is to create really a life that is fulfilling, not by following the rules of society, but by following our own dreams. And for me, it's really, really interesting, because following our dreams means that we are like trying out to how it is to be parents that have a school kid. So we found a free school, but we still not know if this is the way. But the soul was just like, okay, you cannot cut like one step. You cannot do the 10th step before you go to first. So we are now just like even more settling down in northern Germany and trying out how it is to be parents of a school kid in Germany,
Mm.
and to have most fun with it, and to be really authentic, to express what my needs are, what my desires are, what my visions are, and not holding back. My intention for 2024 is not holding back, telling my truth, except when I'm rejected, because this is actually what I have to love. As a manifester, I have a penetrating energy. I have this force, like this can like, woof, this is my idea. What do you think? And then I have to deal with rejection. I have to make love with it and not hold myself back because I have the fear of rejection. So this is also part of my story this year.
Oh, I love that story. It could be my story as well. Yes, some sort of it. Thank you so much. Okay, one last question to you is when people reach out to you now after listening to this episode, and they will, do you have special offers or services to the Inspired Podcast community?
Yeah. My special offer in May is still up, and it's also really much in English possible. Like my
Mhm.
whole social media presence is mostly in German. But if you feel the call, just reach out. I'm really, as you see, I'm mostly fluent in English. There are just like certain vocabulary that I'm like, but therefore we have the dictionary, so it's not as important. Um, and in May, I have like the deal for like 10 days, 2 live sessions, also with Telegram support, because for me, it makes so much sense. I give input, and then it's like the coffee sings. It's like the pieces are just sinking down, and then there from there like question arise. So I want to offer like in between the space to ask questions, to ask for guidance. And there like the offer in May is like 255 euros. I don't know exactly how it is in US dollar, but this is the special for May. In June it will be like rise a bit, because I'm not at the end of the price. I'm actually like um seeking for, but like slowly I make my way. In June it will be like 330 something.
Mhm.
But I offer like 4 or 5 of these spaces to work like for 2 weeks intensively, and then of course I have like this long-term commitments, because I'm also like committed like for 12 months being in a business coaching to improve my business skills that are not naturally given by my family to me. So I have to work on it. And I'm really love long-term commitment, because it's so worth committing to transform and work on a like weekly or bi-weekly basis on topics that are actually relevant for us.
Mhm. That's so true. Thank you so much. I was thinking about it, about my attitude towards long term, because people change coaches or mentors, maybe, or you move on to the next level. So, yeah, it can be beneficial both ways. So, thank
Yeah.
you so much. And now it's time for your last message to the audience, please.
Yeah. My last message is, when you look for a coach or someone, just really deeply listen to your heart, listen to and really see beyond the marketing strategies, because I know that there's a lot of strategies outside, and there's nothing wrong about it. But like to take your soul and see like also what kind of lifestyle do I want to live? Is this really something that I want to learn for skills? Okay, I don't have to deal with the lifestyle, but for life coaching, I also like I buy a bit of the lifestyle from the person, and sometimes I felt that it wasn't a match for me. So whenever you feel the call, just listen to your soul, tune in. You don't have to decide like in this. Impulse and go is just for a really small amount of people the way to go. For other people, it's more about really feeling, letting the stir, like the soup stir a bit. Like, and then really like transformation is really for me is um unverhandelbar. What is it
Not
in?
negotiable.
Yeah, it's unnegotiable, because we are in this transformational time, and we need all beings. And this is maybe the one thing, everybody has to do some coaching at some time. We have to commit to live our superpowers, because then everything will change and everybody have a superpower. Really, everybody. Last sentence.
Oh, that was the best message ever. Thank you so much. You reminded me and us, the listeners, to our superpowers and to really share them with the world. Not
Yeah.
holding, and this was your topic, not holding back anymore. Go out, spread your message. And if you are not ready yet, I mean, on the confidence level, then take a coach or accept a coach, what your heart tells you. Thank you so much. This was our interview, and see you in the next episode.